So, what exactly is a comet? The definition from a dictionary is a celestial body moving about the sun, usually in a highly eccentric orbit consisting of a central mass surrounded by an envelope of dust and gas that may form a tail that streams away from the sun. But not only is that a definition that makes you think harder than it should, it also isn't fun. So, here's mine. A comet is made out of material left over in space. The material is dust, gas, and ice. And all that fun stuff. You may think that a comet is an object that moves through space on its own, but you're wrong. The truth is, nothing in space really controls where it moves. The only thing that controls movement in space is gravity and pressure. And, technically, anything that has mass has gravity. So, by that logic, every single human has gravity. But, because we have so little mass, our gravity is pretty much non-existent. You see, the more mass something has, the stronger its gravity. So, in result, objects with more mass, such as stars, have more control in the movement in space. But, back to comets. Comets are thought to be formed in clouds where there's very little heat, so they freeze into big frozen objects just drifting around in space. But as soon as these objects come close to a big mass such as a star, they get caught in its gravity and start to move towards it. The closer it gets, the stronger the gravity gets, and the faster it goes. At the same time it gains speed, it also gains heat, and sometimes a tail forms behind the comet because of the ice and dust melting from the heat. So, the comet speeds towards the sun, but never hits it. Why? Because gravity isn't all the star has. It also has pressure pushing outwards, which makes the comet not want to hit the star, but instead come towards it, and then not hit it. This in turn causes the comet to make a circular loop around the star and head out of our solar system. The star also generates enough heat to create a thing called solar wind. This pushes the tail of the comet backwards, which, in turn, makes the comet leave our solar system tail first, which probably isn't important, but a cool fact nonetheless. But this pressure isn't enough to keep the comet from going off course. Remember when I explained that everything with mass is gravity? Well, this is really important because this creates a tug of war between thousands of objects in space, all wanting the mass to come to them. The planets in our solar system do most of the work. So with all these forces coming from different places, it creates a balancing act, and the comet forms its own orbit, sometimes disappearing for hundreds of years.
A long time.
The momentum also plays a big part in the comet's orbit, because when the comet shoots around the sun, it sort of acts as if you attach a rock to a rope and spin it once around your head before throwing it, because it makes it travel a lot faster and further. So now that you know how the comet moves, it's time to explain the actual composition of a comet. As I said before, the comet is made up of frozen materials such as dust and gas. These are materials that scientists believe to be left over from the formation of solar systems, galaxies, and stars such as ours, which can be billions of years old.
A very long time.
The main central body is called a nucleus and looks like a dirty snowball when it gets close to the sun. The main elements that compose a comet are hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, and carbon, creating compounds of water, ammonia, methane, and carbon monoxide. Astronomers have also recently discovered that comets contain more rocky materials than previously thought. The tail of the comet is melting gas and dust. The nucleus is covered by a coma of gases which act like a blanket. On top of that is a big cloud of hydrogen, like a jacket for the comet. This is also what we see, and the clouds are actually what we see. This means that, relatively speaking, the nucleus is quite small. Hey guys, hope you enjoyed that. I hope you now understand comets better than you did before.